Hey guys, this is Carnivore5, and today I have a gameplay for you guys. I know I haven't did many gameplays this year. I haven't been playing a ton. I probably play about 20 games a season, and none of the games that really have been that interesting, I guess, or I wasn't recording at the time. And plus, I've been streaming a lot more. So if you guys want to see me actually, play seasons and all that a lot more, you guys need to go check me out on Twitch because that's where most of my gameplay is. Anyways, we do lead off the game with Kenny Powers hitting a bomb, and we are facing Ubaldo Jimenez, and we are pitching Chris Sale ourselves. And our opponent is a World Series player. Well, he's been there at least. I don't know. I mean, he's not there right now. I think we're both in 800s, so this should be a good matchup. So, first inning, 1-0. Didn't get anything going. So we have Chris Sale on the mound, and I still love Chris Sale. I think he's really good. And I haven't showed you guys like my really good squad now. I have Ken Griffey and Dawson in the outfield. I kind of go back and forth between like Jackson, Lou Brock, and Bryce Harper in left field. I also just picked up Stanton because I completed the NL East collection, and I don't know whether or not to complete all the collections. I have like 910K. I was thinking about doing the collections, but I just don't know if it's worth doing them or not because I'm just going to get Brett and Ernie Banks, and I already have Cal Ripken and Matthews and Wright, so I just don't really know if I need them. You also get the Ted too, which is a really good card. Anyways, let's talk a little bit more about the game. We do rip a single up there up the middle. We get full count, 1 out, and I got a lot of runners on base against Ubaldo. The first few innings I could just not cash in. I did have that solo shot with my created guy to lead off, and that was really about it for a while. The offense was kind of stagnant. David Wright rips a single in the left. Ground ball found a hole. I was on it. Just fortunately, the ball did go through the infield, but we're going to get 2 on, 2 outs with Chris Sale, our pitcher, up. And this seemed like it almost happened every inning. I'd get a couple guys on, and then, I couldn't get the runs in. I fouled out to David Wright there, and we move on to the third. Chris Sale is still cruising at this point. He has, I think that's Wade Boggs. He's trying to get the hits of Wade Boggs, and Kenny Powers makes a fantastic play at second base, diving play, and throws him out from the grass. And then Ubaldo Jimenez decides to not mess with Kenny Powers this time. We take a walk. 0-2 count on Griffey. I back Griffey in the 2-hole right now. He rips a single up the middle. We're going to go ahead and test him. Going to go ahead and first to third there. He doesn't even try to throw me out. So we got first and third, no outs. Let's see if I can get some runs in. We got Cal up. Looking for something to drive. I was actually looking fastball. I got it. I swung way under it. Just not a good at bat at all. I can't stand at bats like that. It's just terrible. At least see some pitches if I'm going to do that. Wasn't even near that. I don't know. I just need to bear down a little bit. Runners on. And I swung. He put it in a good spot, though. He didn't throw it all the way down, and I swung way under it. So now we have Ed Matthews up. We got Ed Matthews, by the way, guys. I don't know if I mentioned that, but we do have Ed Matthews. So it finally took a while to get all those breakouts, but we got enough. And then I chased a terrible two-seam. I think I was up 2-0, too. The Ubaldo does have a very good two-seamer. And we hit into a double play, so stranded more runners. I think we've already stranded like 5 runners. But look at our infield, showing off the defense. Right there is why Cal is worth it. He's fantastic, and that's why I rated him #1. Out of all the shortstops, he is a fantastic hitter, and he's basically like the Tulo from last year. There's a few small differences, but they're very similar players. Steve Finley, who I just had on my top 10 center fielders, actually. I think I had him 4th or 5th. I think I had him 5th. He rips a single, gets just by Cal, and then for whatever reason he's swinging away with his pitcher instead of trying to bunt or just take a strikeout, and he gets into a double play. So my opponent only has that 1 hit, just a harmless hit. We have 4 hits. I think we have a couple walks, but we just cannot get a big hit at this point. Jorge Posada comes up, and I was setting changeup 2-1, and I got my changeup and hit it over. Now I'm surprised that went out. I thought, oh man, he's definitely going to catch out. I hit it to the wrong part of the ballpark, but it does just sneak over. And then David Wright comes up. He makes a good pitch, slider down and away. I stay with it, go with it, just didn't get enough of it, and to ground out the second inning. Going to the 4th, we're still up 2-0. And Chris Sale is still cruising. I saw a few comments on my YouTube about like why I like power so much. This is the reason why. For whatever reason, I just cannot count on hitting with runners in scoring position. Some games, yes, you'll break out, as Chris Sale gets a strikeout there. Some games, yes, you'll break out and you'll get a lot of hits with runners in scoring position. But in this game in general, I feel like the good players, if you want to consistently score, sometimes you have to rely on home runs. I don't Real baseball is not necessarily like that, and it's not good just to rely on him. But that's why I kind of favor power a little bit more than contact. And I thought I might have got that. That was Cal Ripken. That pitch was almost down the middle. I guess I was a little under it. And we're going to go ahead into the 5th. We get a 3-1 count. This is his cap. Chris Sale makes a nice little play. I'm almost afraid of every little dribbler hit in front of the pitcher these days, but thankfully I got a good animation there. Another 3-2 count. We go to the fastball in. Very good pitch to David Wright, and he gets a bloop hit. It happens. So far, his 2 singles, were pretty harmless. Weren't hit all that great. That's kind of how things have been going post-patch. Wade Boggs comes up. He hits one pretty well, and I thought this hit the ground. I thought this was a grounder, so I was trying to turn 2. I was very confused, but then I guess he caught it, so then I threw back to first. My opponent was confused as well, so we got a pretty good double play. And here's the foul ball where we got good timing. I'm sure you guys have all seen this. Good timing, hit at 105 or whatever. 3-2 count. This is Ed Matthews. He does work a walk, so hey, I'll take that. Alright, Dawson's up, and we hit it pretty well. This was high and away. I thought that might have been another grounder, so thankfully it wasn't because it would have been an easy double play, but we were right on that. Nothing to show for it. Another 0-2 count. And this was against Posada. Now, this one I thought I crushed, or I thought I should have crushed, and let's look at the feedback on this one. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much dotting it up, and I mean, you could argue that, yeah, I could have centered it just maybe a tad better, but I pretty much dotted that up with Posada, who has like 80 power, and it's hit 85 mile an hour off the bat. And then you guys look at this one, Reggie Jackson. I didn't even square it up, but he hit it 103. I had good timing on it. It's just that's kind of the inconsistencies I'm seeing in this game. It's very frustrating, but whatever. We stranded 2 more runners as usual. We stranded a ton of runners this game. I wasn't getting a lot of hits, but I was working a lot of walks. Just wasn't doing anything with them. And I kind of messed up on that pitch, but thankfully it worked out and I got a good call. Usually you don't get the calls in the game, or at least it seems like every call goes against you. But I think we're just kind of getting used to the inconsistent strike zone as well. Chris Sale is still cruising. He really has not had any good contact versus Chris Sale at this point. He has those 2 harmless hits that weren't really hit. I mean, the Steve Finley was a good hit, but the David Wright, he was jammed. They got a blooper. And then we get a strike 2. He took his pitcher out at this point, and this is the All-Star go to you get in Conquest. And you can see Chris Sale just carves them up. He destroys lefties, but Chris Sale don't care. He just carves them up. And I mean, that's one reason why I love Chris Sale. He can do a fantastic job even against World Series players. And Kenny Powers comes up. I thought I might have got that off the wall. I was under this. I didn't really deserve to hit it. So no complaints. I was just hoping I could get something off the wall to get a cheap double, but I didn't. And then I thought I hit this one better, but I guess I'm just dropping my PCI a little bit. So just a lot of weak flyouts. I'm personally not hitting great this game, but it seems like some of them, could have been hit a little better. But I'm definitely not hitting the ball great, regardless of the patch. Here's another harmless ground ball that he runs out for a hit. I thought Cal Ripken could have got rid of it a little quicker, but he doesn't. So the 3 hits he has, my opponent, nothing. I mean, it's really hard to hit post patch. It really is. So, I mean, I could have a no hitter going at this point. 2 strikes on Lou Brock. We go ahead and challenge him up and in. He actually has a pretty good swing on it. I have my outfielders playing shallow. It's really risky. But I do that against Lou Brock, against lefties, because he doesn't have he has 50 power, so you have to be careful. But usually you can't get it over the outfielder's head unless you just make a terrible pitch. So we get 2 outs there, and then his creative player comes up, rips a double in the gap. We're going to go ahead and keep runners on second and third. And that was like my first, my opponent's first, real good hit. I think he had good timing on it. Not sure. David Wright comes up. I don't want anything to do with Wright. I was going to intentionally walk him, but I figured I'll try to make him chase something. And I throw a changeup down and in, and he was, decent hit. I think he was just late on it, but it was under the strike zone, so it was kind of weird it was hit that hard. You guys can see it was completely under the strike zone, just late, chased, all the way down and in, and he had an exit velo of 101. So you guys compare that to the one I had with Posada. I mean, you guys are probably seeing that a lot, not only with this patch, but the last patch as well. But the game is 2-2 at this point. Cal comes up, rips a single up the middle. Thankfully, it has just enough to get by the second baseman. So that's a good start to the inning. We got nobody down. Ed Matthews against the lefty, and he gets me on the slider. I thought maybe it was going to be a little bit higher, but it was a little bit lower. And that was my first strikeout of the game. And then Dawson comes up. He just threw me a slider down, and then I just naturally reacted. I was actually looking for something away here, and he just threw me a hanging, like I wouldn't call it a hanging slider. It was down and in. I dotted that up perfectly, and that's Dawson versus a lefty, guys. And the exit velo is 102, which is, I'm not going to complain about that. But the fact that, you know, David Wright hit 101 just late, you know, outside the strike zone, I mean, that kind of tells you how messed up the hitting can be in this game. Anyways, we get another single for the to the 8th after the home run, and we stranded yet another runner. Just could not get a big hit. So all of our runs so far have been via home run. And again, guys, that's why I favor power. Just me personally, I don't know. I mean, I get big hits sometimes, but it didn't happen this game. If I got a few big hits, I'd probably have 6 or 7 runs, but it just didn't happen. I still have Chris Sale in there. I usually don't leave my starter in there this long, but I had confidence in Sale. He also had a lot of lefties in his lineup, and he also had guys like Buddy Bell who don't hit lefties well. And then these types of play I almost see every game. Really annoying. Again, it's almost like you see 2 to 3 dribblers a game that are base hits. And at that point, I had to take out Sale. Brought in Jansen. He went ahead and, he brought Zimmerman in against Sale. Then I decided to bring Jansen. Then he countered with Granderson, which is fine. I knew he had only lefties on his bench. And at this point, I'm just trying to get that cutter in on his hands. And I do get the strikeout there. I love Jansen, guys. I think he's the best reliever. So let's see if he can get this save. We got 2 outs, 2-1 count. This is the breakout Griffey. We throw a sinker, middle away. He's probably looking cutter there, so that's a nasty combination there of Jansen. Trying to go with a slider down and in here, see if I can get him. And we do get him to chase, and that's going to be a force out at second. So Jansen gets out of the, I guess you can call it a mini jam. And then next inning, don't really have much going. With 2 outs though, Griffey does get a single just to go through on the right side. I'm facing Drew Storm, who's actually a pretty good goal pitcher. I used him a lot in events. He got me to a 12-0 in events. I mean, I like the Storm. Ripken comes up. He hits one decent. I didn't center that one up all the way, but I had good timing on it. PCI was near it. I was wanting to score so bad off that, but the outfielders just are so quick with those transitions off the wall. So we have to keep him at second and third, and let's see if we can finally get a big hit here. We have Ed Matthews up. I know I was looking to drive something middle way, and he kind of cuffed me up there. The fastball down in. I think I'm just thinking too much. I don't know. Maybe he just made the right pitches at the right time. But anyways, still 4-2. We're going to try to close this out with Jansen. Sinker down and in, middle in. Breaks his bat. Get an easy ground out to short. And now he has Lou Brock up. And I made a mistake here. I should have took the shift back off. I still had him shallow. Griffey might have caught this if it was normal depth, but I'm not sure. Thankfully, it's a ground rule double, not a triple. Really doesn't matter though, since that's not the tying run. And then his created guy comes up. First pitch swinging at a cutter that almost hit his ankle. So not a very good at bat there, but hey, I'll take it. 2 down, David Wright, who's got the only RBIs for this guy. So we fall behind 3-0, and I do not want to put the winning run on him. I'm going to challenge David Wright. And we go with a cutter down and in. I know he's trying to get on base here. 3-1, I figured he's probably still taken. So we're just going to throw a sinker middle in, see if we can get him swinging. I completely missed my spot, but it ended up working out. 3-2 count, and decided to go with a cutter up and in, see if we can get him looking. I kind of missed my spot again there. Kind of hung over the middle of the plate. But we do strike him out. You guys see how filthy Jansen is. Even when I was missing my spots, he's so hard to pick up with that sinker-cutter combo and then the slider. We get plus 21. We're almost to the World Series. I think I'm 8-0. And you guys can see the post-game reward. So I hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay. Let me know what you guys think. This is Car number 5 signing out. Peace.